It's red, it's robust, it's officially Reserva, and since we're talking northeast Spain, it just has to be Rioja. Coming right up. Hi guys, Tony Melville here with yet another edition of Big on Wine, the show which, as you should know by now, brings you the latest news, clues and reviews. In fact, it keeps you up to speed with just about everything in the world of wine. And my wine of the week for this week is indeed from Rioja, and it's this one here. It goes by the name of Baron de Ley Reserva, and the vintage is 2015. And this wine comes in for a price of just a smidgen under the €18 mark where I am. Okay, let's see whether we can bring you the backstory to this one. The producer of this wine goes by the same name, Baron de Ley, and the wine itself is DOCA Rioja. So let's expand that a bit. Denominación de Origen Calificada, to be precise. The producer is based in Mendavia, which is just north of the Ebro River, roughly 30 kilometers or so east of Logroño, which is just about the center of the Rioja area. And we're talking the northeastern corner of Spain, so about 150 kilometers or so southeast of Bilbao, which of course is in the Basque country. All right, the wine itself has got 14% alcohol, and this red wine comes from the Rioja area, of course, which is very, very much red wine country. Red outnumbers white wine by about 10-1, and the majority of the red wine grapes produced in the region are, of course, the famous Tempranillo grapes. They make up 87% or so of all the red grapes grown in the area. Now, what about the Reserva? Where does that come from? Well, Reserva refers to the length of time the wine has been aged, in this case 36 months, of which a minimum of 12 months have to be spent in oak barrels. And they tell me that the 2015 vintage, which this is, was described in Spanish as muy buena. So I guess it's going to be a good number. All right, let's take a look at the wine in the glass, and we can see it has that dark, deep red color with a slight kind of, what should we say, a kind of opaqueness to it, which is very typical of the Rioja reds. Just a little tinge of purple or maybe brown just around the edges of this wine. This wine is about 4 years old at this time. All right, in the nose, let's see how it behaves in the nose. Let's go for it. And it has the quintessential nose of a Rioja wine here, which can only be described as powerful, with those oaky, toasty notes very much to the fore. Toasty, oaky, and that kind of dark fruit, almost dried fruit characteristic. Very, very powerful in the nose. Right, so far so good. Classic stuff. Let's try it in the mouth, see whether those aromas carry over into flavors. Here we go. Now, the thing I like about these Rioja wines, the Tempranillo in particular, it has a degree of sharpness in the mouth due to those quite prominent acids. It gets the mouth watering extremely nicely indeed. It has tannin in it, fairly robust tannins, but not by my standards at least too heavy in terms of tannins. It's a full-bodied wine, naturally, 14% alcohol. Sharpness coming from the acid, I rather like that. It's mouth-watering. Let's try it again. It leaves the mouth just a little dry, little puckering of the palate there. But the overall impression here is of that dark fruit, dried fruit, combined almost with kind of Christmassy spices, sweet spices. Back of the mouth, side of the mouth, peppery, black pepper is in the mix, I think, there. Touch of leather, perhaps, although not tremendously so here. Less leathery than in many other wines from the same area. And maybe even in the finish, even just a touch of smokiness, smoky spiciness. The finish is warm, as you would expect, with this amount of alcohol in it. Spicy, warm, long finish, with just that hint of what would we call it. It's been a long time since I sucked on any pencils at school, but just that little taste of pencil lead in the finish of the wine. Very attractive indeed. A nice package, a classic package. All right, so what are we going to be enjoying our Baron de Ley Reserva with? Well, this is crying out, isn't it, for dark meat, for your steak, your lamb dishes. Also hard cheeses would go down, hard salty cheeses would go down fine with a glass of our Baron de Ley. We're looking at a temperature of what, just under room temperature, so 17, 18 degrees. Let's bring you the heads up on this one. This is a classic number, Baron de Ley Reserva 2015 DOCA Rioja. As I say, a classic number with all that oakiness, toastiness, dark fruit, those sharp acids, mouth-watering, peppery, wonderful combination. I'm going to give this wine 4 stars out of 5. Okay, folks, many thanks for tuning in and checking out this week's video and the little intro to a classic number from Spain's Rioja, Baron de Ley Reserva, vintage 2015. Lovely package indeed. Okay, if you've enjoyed what you've seen and heard, then please do feel free to give us that big thumbs up, which we enjoy receiving so much. Drop a comment down below. We're always very interested to read your comments and get your feedback. Share the video around, follow me on my other social media platforms, and hey, if you haven't done so already, please do consider subscribing by hitting that big red button somewhere up there behind me. Hit the bell notification too while you're at it, and you'll be informed as soon as every new video is posted. And of course, I'll be back again next week with another great wine of the week for you. But until we meet again, this is Tony Melville signing off and saying, hey, take care out there, be good to each other, enjoy your wines, and cheers.